everybody, welcome to my first wheel throwing tutorial. The first lesson today is centering. Centering is the most important part of wheel throwing, but it's also the quickest. Centering is making sure that the clay is symmetrical and in the middle of the wheel and also without a wobble. The tools that you'll need for centering is a wheel, you'll need a sponge, you'll need a bucket of water, you'll need maybe a towel, good idea. You need some clay, about 500 grams worth of clay. 500 grams of clay is what we suggest that you start with as a beginner. To give you an idea, 500 grams of clay is the size of a large mug for an experienced potter. As you get more experience, you can go up in weight of clay, but just start with 500 grams of clay. So the first thing you need to do is you need to make sure that that wheel is clean and dry. So you're going to clean it down with your sponge, like that. Then you need to dry it. So making sure that your wheel is clean and dry. If you have dust or water in between the wheel head and the clay, it's going to slip off. Okay, so you need to have it clean and dry. Now what you need to do is you need to be able to make sure that that clay sticks to the wheel head. And a lot of people will just gently put it on, put their water on, and it just slides off. Okay, so you really need to slam it down hard. So we're going to aim for the bullseye, and you're going to slam it down hard. So a couple of practice runs like this, and slam it down hard, like that. And what you want is that clay to disperse as you slam it down. Now, if I was to try and make a pot out of that clay right now, see how unscented it is? That pot would fail. It would be all wobbly and out of shape, and you wouldn't be able to I can't make anything out of that. So what you need to do is centre. So how we're going to centre is we're going to make sure that our arms are anchored down. We don't want to be up here with our arms flapping around or our body moving around. What we want is our arms to be anchored down on the wheel frame, on our knees, and our hands to be on the wheel head like that. And also you need to put the weight over your arms to hold your body steady. You're going to use your palms of your hands to push that clay into a cone shape. So what we do is we cone up, just pushing that clay in. I'm not lifting the clay, I'm just pushing it in so it grows up. And I'm cambering my hands a little bit like that to make sure I make that cone shape. We don't want to undercut because we'll end up with a mushroom shape that'll break off the top. And we don't want to be too straight up and down either, okay? So that cone shape, which is the strongest shape on the wheel. Now you probably noticed I'm putting a lot of water on. We need to put a lot of water on so that our clay is shiny and wet and we're using it like a lubricant. So we've got a lot of slip on our hands. This is the reason why we also need to act quick. Acting quick because the more water we add to the clay, and we need to add water, the more you're going to have slip form and also reduce the volume of clay. So we do need to work quick. So we've got that cone shape, that's our first step of coning up and down. And then you need to push that clay away to cone down, thumbs over the top and coming down to a low cone, like that. As you come down the bottom, you're going to release really slowly, like that. So that's not bad for a first cone up and down. I like to get rid of this skirt here of clay. I just use my thumb, like that, and takes that off. If you let that grow out, your hand will start riding up and down on it like that, and that'll put you out. So more water. I'm going to do this again, and I'm going to keep doing this until I'm happy with the clay being centred. So I've coned up, again, don't need to come up to the height of your hand. Okay, you don't need to cone really high, just up to the height of your hand. With this much clay, if I had more, of course I'd have to cone up higher. And then, again, I'm going to push that clay away, thumbs over the top. I'm not digging my thumbs in, I'm just pushing them over the top. And downward pressure, and down the bottom, slow release. That clay's getting more and more centered. Now, I'll just show you with one hand how I cone down. I'll just cone up again, coning up, and I'll show you with one hand how I cone down, because it is a little bit complicated. So I use this part of my hand to push that clay away, a bit more water, like that. Thumb over the top. Now you guys will still have to use two hands. And I'm gradually pushing down. And as I get down to the bottom, slow release to bring that clay back into its natural centre. More water. Now I'm pretty close to being centred. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little squeeze like that all the way around, and then that really slow release to help with that last little bit of centering. Now I'm happy I would go ahead and make a pot out of that now. Just a couple of things, guys. If you don't use enough water, it is very hard to centre. You need to use the water to make sure it's nice and slippery in your hands and it's not grabbing hold of your hands. And also the speed. The speed of the wheel needs to be reasonably fast. The speed helps you move clay around. If you're not going fast enough, it's a very hard job. But if you're not strong enough and you're going too fast, you can always bring the speed down a little bit. Okay guys, see you for the next tutorial next time. Bye.